Hello,
Oh,
hello.
bye-bye.
And so this brings us to our final session of the year. So one, I just want to start off with gratitude is thank all of you for showing up consistently for yourselves and each other. So I said today was going to be a little different. So one is I'm going to share an exercise we're going to do, and I want people just to go around and just share a win that they had. So this is, we'll see how good everyone's listening is, and it's actually practice for your ability to share your value proposition, right? Clear, concise, and direct. When you're talking to someone else and you're sharing information, the more additional words you use, the more confusing it is for another person. So a good example is I've used the Med C, and as a result of using the Med C, this happened. That's it. Well, before I came here, I didn't use the Med C, and I started using the Med C and this and that and the other thing. That is not a good example. The goal of this is to get through as many people as we can. We did this in the morning. And look, when you hear somebody say something, it prompts your brain that says, this is something I could do. This is something I can do. And now I'm going to go do it. Something I could do, can do, and now I'm going to do it. So that is the whole purpose of this exercise. And I realized from the morning session, this is something we should have done a long time ago, probably once a quarter at minimum, just to get an idea of what's working for people now and inspiring other people. So who would like to kick off this conversation? Oh, Michelle.
Hey, Charles, Phil.
I will. I one of the things that I loved about this group is that I met new agents, and because of that, I started participating in a role-playing accountability group, which I was kind of terrified to do because I'm not a big role player. So one of my biggest takeaways and gratitudes is extending my network of agents across the country and being able to participate in a weekly role-playing accountability group with them.
Perfect. So you grew your network and you grew your skills.
I did. Thank you, Chirag.
Thank you. Phil.
Yeah, hey, Chirag. In talking about being in the office and collaborating with other agents, so spending time here and with our friend Nathaniel, who I believe you know, he brought me in on a commercial deal to handle, and we went on a listing consultation for a $4.5 million commercial listing, which it looks like we'll get yesterday. So be in the office and network and use other people's strengths to put deals together.
Amazing. So you got a $4.5 million opportunity. That's
Yes.
Great. Who's next? John.
So a win that I had this last 2 weeks was I connected with Michelle Ozan about 6 months ago, and we Zoomed and we really got to know each other. We've planned some events. We planned an event with a few other people down in at the retreat. And about a week ago, she reached out and said, John, who do you know that works Saratoga? And that's my hometown. And so she connected me, heard another real estate agent was looking for someone, an agent, a top agent. She connected us and we got together, and thank you, Michelle. And that's a massive, massive win. Thank you.
You see all the love and referrals and connections that are passed around. So thank both of you. Who's next? Just pouring myself some medicine with all of you here today. Ooh.
That looked like fireball, Chirag. That looked like a fireball shot. Let's see. CBS.
Oh, it tastes like a fireball shot.
You do sound a lot better today, Chirag. You were coughing like, man, geez, I thought I was going to get sick just listening to you yesterday.
I believe it. I had to actually do a 2-hour presentation before this and another 1-hour presentation before that, and then a half-hour, but it's been an interesting day. So the coughing has gone down. What else do we have? Who's next?
Hi, Chirag. This is Roger Strassner in California. And I just wanted to thank you for the Med C because I was able to approach a contractor and we're working on a deal together. So I'm in the process of getting him pre-qualified for bank statement financing, but I wouldn't have had the foresight or the courage to approach him had I not gone through your program.
So how did the Med C show up in this instance compared to what you would have done before?
I think the way it happened is I started asking him more personal questions about his business. and started listening to him. And then he started talking to me how he was looking for a fixer, a really broken down fixer, something that, nobody else wanted. And so I networked with an REO agent and I found him something. So now it's a matter of getting him qualified to actually purchase it.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah, it takes time to build confidence. I'm sorry I'm not on camera today because I injured my back, and but I'm still trying to
Still here.
work my career. I'm still here. Yeah.
All right.
So thank you for all you do.
Cam, I see you on here. I saw our email threads. I owe you a phone call. Don't think I forgot. Who else is next? Shannon.
Yeah, I just what I got out of getting together with a lot of people and collaborating to learn about people and working with people in the future. I did gain a referral or a role play partner with Sharon Davis that her and I meet once a week just to go over different things, talk. So yeah, relationships.
Look, I can share this. I've talked to almost 300 of you over the last, I would say 3.5 weeks. There's such a distinct difference for people's experience here, the growth of their business, how much better their life gets, and ultimately their bank account and business growth. For people, sorry, John, that are in role play, accountability, networking groups, and that are not. Right. So like one of the things just to address this, because a lot of people ask, like, well, how are you going to do it differently next year? Is since everyone is doing a program assessment, we'll know what people want, where they are in their businesses. So we're able to pair the right people. Sometimes their time zone challenges. So, our goal is to get everyone into a role play group and also provide more structure and support to the accountability role play leaders. But some of the stuff that you all have done, these emails that they send with scripts and session formats, it makes my heart sing. Who's next?
I'll go. Hi.
Hey.
Good morning. It's Lorraine from San Francisco East Bay. And one of the things this group has allowed us to do is to go deeper with some of the referral partners that we have in relationships. And Tanya Jones and I are the Connections Real Estate team here in Danville, California. And we do a lot of work with John Jenkins in Silicon Valley. And we've been thinking about kind of collaborating and teaming up. And through your coaching and the consistency, and we decided to pull the trigger. So now John Jenkins' team is part of our Connections Real Estate team. So we're really a Bay Area coach. So I know, yeah, woo, yeah.
No, I have to tell you, I always say that I learned just like everybody else. There's so many cool things. John, tell us more about how this all came about.
Well, Lorraine and Tanya, I met through 6 Ambers 2 years ago, and we've become incredible friends and collaborations. And there's times where like I'm working on a project, we all have projects that we're working on, and they're working. I'm like, what are you working on? Oh, you're working on that. Okay, I'll work on that. You work on that. And then in a month, let's collaborate. And so that we're not doubling work. And since we're in 2 different markets, about 45 minutes away, we're not in competition. And so we've been, accountability partners. I mean, everything. And we're like, hey, let's pull the trigger. We just work so incredible together. So Chirag, a lot of it is because of us coaching together with you. So thank you so much, Chirag. I give you a lot of credit. Thank you.
You're welcome. Who's next? Taking a couple notes myself.
Chirag, Tanya and Lorraine might be open for you to join their team too, if you're open to that.
I think if I join one person's team, I'd have a lot of very unhappy people.
I'll go next. Hey, Chirag, it's Jen Best in Chicago.
Hey, Jen.
And I think just the practice of the MedC and the listing presentation was huge for me this year. I went up against another agent who I know very well, another Compass agent, and I just feel like the active listening and asking good questions really set me apart, and I won the business, and we're listing in the spring.
Nice. And how is this different than what you did before?
I think I spoke more about myself before than asking good questions, understanding what was really motivating them. And this particular client, they were worried about when to make the right move. And so we were really just talked more about their goals than talking about, data and reverse prospecting and all the tactics.
I think oftentimes it's really easy for us to forget like why people are actually moving, right? And they're not so interested in like the nitty gritty of everything. They just want to know how what you do fits into the context of their specific goals.
And I will add one thing, which I think just the clarity of having the marketing plan, having like the actual calendar, having the communication plan, I think it's a real difference maker too, just because there's fewer questions and uncertainty.
Nice. Another great win. Who's next? Who here has gotten something that they feel that they could use based on what other people have shared? Hit a yes in chat. Brad and then Leslie.
I think Leslie was first, but
Okay, ladies first then. Sorry, Brad.
yeah, no worries.
Thank you for being gentlemen.
Either way, thanks, Brad. I can't say like, oh, it led me to get this piece of business or whatever, though it's just led me to think about things really differently. So I have an opportunity, a meeting about a listing tomorrow, and I'm just approaching it completely differently and really thinking about everything differently, all from the perspective of what they want always. And also, I never would have on my own probably become part of any, accountability group or anything like that. And I am, including with Brad, and it's, I just, you can't even say how helpful it is. It's just like everything.
They always say, if you can change the way that you think through things, it's going to change the way that the outcomes of things are too. So great job. And just being a doer. Brad and then Keith.
Hello, everybody. So just to piggyback on what Leslie was just saying and others have said is the accountability groups have been incredible. I mean, really, really valuable. My skills have become so much sharper this past 6 months. I've also bonded and connected with several of you in ways that are really deep. We've met in person a couple of times. I was just on the phone with Jim Dickinson up in Seattle. I received a referral last week from somebody in this group, which is incredible. And I have to say that I've probably, due to coaching with you, Chirag, I think it's helped me close, I would say 3 or 4 deals over the past 6 months, which has been huge at this time, huge. And I know that because the Med C has become such an important part of me understanding how to listen better, how to not demonstrate value all the time and rely on these bad habits, which have been, granted, they've worked for me, but I've become so much better at listening and meeting people where they're at and addressing their needs. Thank you.
My heart sings with joy right now. Wait, who's supposed to go next? And then Denise. Keith, where'd you go?
I don't want to follow Brad. That was really good, Brad. So
Individual journey.
Right? Very, very good, Brad. Well, a win over the last 30 days that I've had is I'm working with 5 referrals right now, all inbound, all phone calls, not from Workspace or somewhere else, all people who said, hey, will you work with my client? Come inbound from 5 different markets around the country, which is pretty cool in our area up here. There's a lot of choice. So all stem from the referral networks that are created here.
Wow, the first session was like heavy med C. This session's all about referral networks. Denise.
So I come from commercial, which is a different juggernaut. So I've been in residential for like a year. So I feel like you're you helping us with our presentations, and when you helped us with our going back and forth with our seller and our buyer stuff really, really, really helped us, using examples and everything like that, with our conversations. I really think that helps, like the listening and everything like that. So I don't go down a rabbit hole with anything at all, especially with the rates and things like that. I think it really, really helps. I mean, even in just a general conversation with anybody, it just really helps. I mean, even, when you meet someone at Starbucks or at the gym or whatever, it just really helps. And I've gained buyers and sellers that way. So win-win. So, yeah.
Look, I think you're a great example of anyone that's willing to work on the way that their conversations are. There's so much more business out there that we don't even realize by just making this simple shift in commitment. So I would say mindset's your ability to think through things differently, right? And you've done an excellent job of that. To piggyback on Michelle and Keith, like being free from any kind of outcome just takes so much pressure off of you. So well done, Sean. Now that a bunch of you go, we're all rolling. All right, Sean, what do you got, my man?
Thanks, Chirag. Yes, I've learned a lot of good nuggets from you, and part of that, just had a really good open house last weekend, having a giant iPad there, for people to register their name at the same time, working on mid-C. I probably picked up about I would say 4 or 5 good buyers from my open house that I did. So it's all thanks to you.
Doesn't it make you feel so much better and not like salesy and confrontational?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, just finding their needs, and what's important to them.
It's the experience that they're all looking for.
Yes.
Perfect. Who's next? Cherish Hope, you're not getting away with that speaking. Chelsea, you're not getting away with that speaking.
Sure. I mean, I can really echo everything that so many people are saying. Inbound referrals, the use of the Med-C, accountability groups, role play groups, all of this has been so useful. And specifically in leading a role play group, this has stretched me personally in a lot of ways. And I'm far from perfect, but it has given me a lens to have a little more self-discovery, a little more self-reflection on some of my strengths and areas that I'd like to grow on. So as the year comes to an end, I'm thinking a lot about that and how to kind of wrap that piece up nicely and relaunch with the next group in 2024.
Nice.
So thank you.
Relaunch. There we go. That was your thing when we did the exercise. So
yeah.
Slowly and steadily. Chelsea.
Good morning.
Morning from Hawaii.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, being in Hawaii sometimes can feel a little isolating, besides having the community of the other agents on the other Hawaiian Islands. So this has always been a really nice way to wake up first thing, hop on Zoom at 6:30 a.m. I stopped caring what I look like on camera so early in the morning, which is a big step. You'd mentioned that in your video training yesterday. But it's also really taught me to just focus, because I tend to take on so many different types of just learning opportunities. And so I really like how you closed out the year with just focus on one thing to master for the quarter, because it's way less overwhelming for me. And it just seems like, okay, 2024, I can master the listing presentation and move on. So you took something that was very overwhelming and broke it down into tiny pieces where I feel like I can wrap my head around it and get started. So thank you.
The power is in simplicity. Remember, your real estate business is a multi-decade career. So let's start planning and doing things so we build out our career, not just going to more stuff. Who else? Firuz? Don't think I don't see you.
Hi, Chirag. I think I'm going to take the opposite. I'm actually with my team member, Brandy Numedal.
Hi, Chirag.
So we thought that we sit together and kind of participate because she's always from her home or office, and so we are never together. I'm going to take the opposite, and I think be brave enough to say that I did not follow up on your instructions. And I think that it was probably, and I mentioned that in our phone conversation, was that it basically was due to having a lot of stress with a couple of clients and some other issues that kind of stopped me. But now I see that I've missed out the last couple of months of being connected. And so not benefiting from the coaching program that we attended. So I think that there are maybe other people who kind of had that, problem for the past 2 months. But, I'm planning to take your class again, your coaching classes in January. So I think that we'll definitely do things differently. And maybe Brandy has something to add as well.
Sure. I would say that I did feel like I had a pretty good win just last week from what I learned from the coaching, in that I was able to confidently articulate how to think about real estate and real estate commissions to a woman who has always done for sale by owner. She's in her 60s and that is all she's done. And why in the world would you pay a broker that much money? And she's going to use me to sell 2 properties. And I feel like the confidence I had in the language I was using was spot on. And I don't think I had that language before. And I'm relatively newly licensed. I'm starting my 4th year being licensed. So learning how to speak confidently about our value in a way that doesn't sound canned like everybody else, or that it's meaningful. I know that I accomplished that last week because she's going to use me. That's big, right?
Clear, concise, and quantifiable.
And I think, and this is an aha moment, because Brandy doesn't like to speak in public. And I was just telling her, encouraging her, you have to say something. And she said, no, I don't
I'll just listen.
Yeah, I just listen. And I said, no, this is it. We got to do it. So I'm glad you called on us, Chirag. Thank you.
I see you. Who else has their camera on? Everyone else has does anyone else have anything they want to share? All right, well, look, as the year closes out, as my famous words are, whatever you choose to do next, I support you all 100%. So for those of you who are continuing on, 2024 is going to be the most epic year. And look, it's my life's work of putting all of these things together. I always believed that real estate lacked like a pre-built system that people could learn, let alone integrating it with a technology platform and building out these groups. And some of my best learnings have been just from calling all of you. So, if you're continuing with us and you haven't signed up, just shoot me an email so we can make sure to get you a promo code and a discount. And if you're not continuing with us, that's your choice too, right? I'm grateful for the time that we got to spend together, and ultimately whatever you got out of the program, I hope it was a good experience and you take it with you going forward. A lot of times feel like, well, I'm going to implement all the stuff I learned. And, I find when you have structure, if you haven't done it, you might as well just get a clean slate and start all over again. Because you're not going to go back and do it. Most people won't. Like it's like the amount of people that can successfully go through pre-recorded videos and self-learn, and people that can just figure it out on YouTube. It's a small finite percent. And look, from what everyone has shared here today, is all of you together are the most valuable. right? So get an accountability group, get referral partners, connect with one another, never stop giving up in yourself, and try, like Chelsea did, to simplify your life for next year. It really doesn't have to be complicated. And if you look at your business as a career and what kind of life you want to live, and you start focusing your decisions on those two things, nothing but incredible things will keep happening to you. And it's only going to get better. The best is yet to come. And so it's love in my heart. I love you all. Happy holidays. Thank you so much. And look, you have my email. If you have any questions or anything, just know where to find me. As many of you have said when I pick up the phone, oh my God, Chirag, you're a real person. I'm like, no, I'm a robot. And this is a fake call. No, like look, we're all people, right? And you have to meet people where they are. You have to be a great listener and ultimately help people get what they need. We do this, we're both in the service business, right? So however we can serve you better, always let us know. And look, as always, we are so grateful for all of you. It's all of you that make this company what it is. It's not us that make who you are. And I don't ever want to lose sight of that. And I think that's where all businesses go wrong. Great people make great companies. Great companies don't make great people. So thank you again for the opportunity to be part of your business, have an impact in your life. It's a big choice when you choose to invest so much time with one person on a consistent basis. It's going to have an influence on you. So I hope I had a good influence on you. I hope I had you think about your business and your life and being present a little bit differently than you normally would. So I love you all, and big shout out to Brad and Cherish and Jody, who's not here, and the other accountability leaders for stepping up. And look, I'll be supporting you a lot more. And we'll be, one of the things that I want to do is figure out who's leading all these groups. So at least once a month, I could spend 15, 20 minutes with you just talking about what's working, what's not working, and how we can improve the dynamic. And on that note, that's all,
Thanks,
folks.
Chirag.
Thank you, Chirag.
Guys.
Happy holidays.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Christmas.
Thank you. Happy
Here.
holidays to everybody.
Bye.
Bye.